Good day. I am Arvin Tejones, and this is my video presentation as a requirement for my completion of Chapter 1, Part 2, Individual Online Assignment of the course MBA 104 Financial Management. This presentation will cover two areas. Number one, a discussion on the introduction to financial management topic list for week 2, and a discussion on the structural business management function. Let's start with our discussion first on financial management. What is financial management? At its core, financial management is the practice of making a business plan and then ensuring all departments stay on track of the business plan. Solid financial management enables the CFO or VP of finance to provide data that supports creation of a long-term vision, informs decision on where to invest, and yields insights on how to fund those investments, liquidity, profitability, cash runway, and more. In simple terms, financial management is the business function that deals with investing the available financial resources in a way that greater business success and return on investment or ROI is achieved. Finance management professionals plan, organize, and control all transactions in a business. The purpose of financial management is to guide businesses or individuals on financial decisions that affect financial stability both now and in the future. Our study of financial management, nevertheless, is not complete if we will not dwell into finance. What is finance? By dictionary definition, finance is the management of large amounts of money, especially by government or large companies. Finance is essentially an umbrella term for housing several aspects of money. It can be broadly stated as the study of the matter regarding creation, management, and the study of currency, money, and capital assets. Finance is a term for matters regarding the management, creation, and study of money and investments. It involves the use of credit and debt, securities and investment to finance current projects using future income flows. Well, finance is a broad term that essentially refers to money management or channeling money for various purposes. It applies to people, businesses, governments, organizations, and other entities. So, what are the areas of finance? There are three main types of finance. Number one is finance, number two is corporate, and number three is government. Personal finance is the knowledge, instruments, and techniques used to manage your finances. When you understand the principles and concepts behind personal finance, you can manage debt, savings, living expenses, and retirement savings. One of the key ideas behind personal finance is not to spend more than you make. For instance, if you make 50,000 a year but spend 65,000, you'll end up in debt that continues to compound because you'll be spending more than you make to pay for past expenses. Corporate finance departments and companies focus on solid decision making for profitable financial results. Thus, corporate finance involves activities that relate to the budgeting of capital, the debt and equity used to finance operations, management of working capital, and shareholder dividends. Well, the main areas of corporate finance are number one, capital budgeting for investing in company projects, capital financing, which is deciding how to fund projects and operations, and working capital management, managing assets and liabilities to operate efficiently. The third area of finance, which is public finance, is a branch of economics concerned with the planning and expenditure of public resources. It investigates the role of the government in reducing economic disparities, collecting and dispersing taxes, and stimulating economic growth. What are the functional areas of financial management? Most financial management plans will break them down into four elements commonly recognized in financial management. These four elements are number one, planning, number two, controlling, number three, organizing and directing, and number four, decision making. In planning, you identify the steps that align with the business, on individual objectives. Here you take the time to properly establish your business goals and objectives. Do you know what your long-term plans are for yourself, your brand, and your staff? Each business goal, whether that's profit maximization, business growth, or expansion of services, will require financial management. And with each goal, there will be steps to get there. This includes financing, budgeting, allocating rules, customer research, and much more. Controlling ensures each aspect of the organization is following the established plan. Um, Now that you know your steps, well, do you know that each part of the business is working to achieve the objectives? This isn't necessarily about cutting costs or determining redundancies. Rather, it is more about setting appropriate KPIs that can quantifiably lead to organizational goal. It is important to make sure that all staff are aware of the goals and their role in achieving that goal. In organizing and directing, you decide on what resources are necessary to effectively carry out the plan. Resources don't just refer to material assets and tools. It expands over to staff, roles, budget, funding, technology and software, outsourcing services, and more. Well, you don't want to start implementing a strategy if you don't even have all the resources at the ready to get the ball rolling. Decision making involves making choices after investigating all possibilities and options. Once you have established all alternatives and potential plans, decision makers must choose which alternative is feasible and matches with goals and objectives. Decision making will, in fact, coincide with the rest of planning, controlling, and organizing, as each element will need to be confirmed before moving on with the plan. With regards to implementing financial plans, when handling the complexities of financial management, it's important to break planning down into categories aligned with business goals. With a chosen plan, you can then decide on software and platforms to support your strategy. So, what is the role of financial management in business? Well, financial management helps organizations to plan, organize, and govern financial activities to keep the business moving and maintain healthy profits. The key role of financial managers is decision making, which takes into account the business's short term and long term goals. In our daily lives, financial management helps you in budgeting your income. Budgeting helps in planning your income, where your money should be spent, how much money should be saved, how much should be invested. According to your lifestyle plan, stick to what you have budgeted, avoid overspending, and direct your money towards saving. It helps the firm maximize profit when it comes to companies, liquidity, and earnings per share. The role of financial management is diverse, including capital needs assessment, capital composition evaluation, capital source selection, fund investment, determination, and liquidity management and financial control. So let's move forward to the roles of financial manager. So the responsibilities of a finance manager are as follows. A finance manager distributes the financial resources of a company. Number one, is responsible for the budget planning and supports the executive management team by offering insights and financial advice that will allow them to make the best business decisions for the company. The duties and responsibilities of a financial manager vary based on the organization. Still, they typically oversee operations in the finance department to set goals and objectives throughout the year to ensure company goals are met. A financial manager is a key decision maker in an organization. They use data analytics and advise senior managers on profit maximizing ideas, which can help them to optimize company profits over time by making intelligent decisions for investments or spending funds to have the greatest return on investment. So let's now go to governance. Corporate governance basically is the system of rules, practices, and processes by which a company is directed and controlled. Corporate governance refers to the way in which companies government and to what purpose. It identifies who has power and accountability and who makes decisions. Corporate governance is a system that aims to instill policies and rules that helps maintain the cohesiveness of an organization. It exists to help hold a company accountable while helping them steer clear of financial, legal, and ethical pitfalls. Examples of corporate governance in action include a board of directors discussing the potential risks and rewards associated with a decision, such as an acquisition or merger, or conducting employee assessments. In relation to the goal of the firm, in the conventional theory of the firm, the principal objective of a business is profit maximization. Under the presumptions of given tastes and technology, price and output of a given product under perfect competition are determined with the sole objective of maximizing profits. So, profit maximization, well, it is always used as a goal of the firm in microeconomics. They focus on short-term goal to be achieved within a year. It stresses on the efficient use of capital resources. So in order to maximize profit, the financial manager will implement actions that would result in maximum profits without considering the consequences of its actions towards the company's future performance. Its simple drawbacks of profit maximization are: it is a short-term concept, it does not consider the timing of returns, and it ignores risk. About maximization of shareholders' wealth, the goal is to maximize the shareholders' wealth for whom it is being operated. It is being measured by the share price of the stock, which in turn is based on the timing of returns, the amount of the returns, and the risk or uncertainty of the returns. It also means maximizing the total market value of the existing shareholders' common stock. While all financial decisions will affect the achievement of this goal, shareholders' wealth maximization can be achieved by considering the present and potential future earnings per share, timing of returns, dividend policy, and other factors that affect the market price of a company's stock. The paramount objectives of financial management is maximizing shareholders' wealth, as I've mentioned. That is, the basic objective of financial management for a company is to opt for those financial decisions that prove gainful from the point of view of the shareholders. Financial objectives typically focus on increasing a business's profits or sales, but they may also focus on investments and economic stability. Financial objectives are often measurable goals that businesses can track and reach. These objectives typically focus on long-term success. A financial manager should select that alternative which may maximize the profit. In other words, all such actions which increase the profit should be undertaken, and which reduce the profit should be avoided. So what are the functions of financial management? Here are as follows. Number one, capital estimation. Number two, designing capital structure. Number three, choice of funds. Number four, investments. Number five, profit allocation. Number six, money management. Number seven, financial controls. So for capital estimation, the primary function of managing business finances is estimating the amount of capital required. Estimating the capital is essential to determine how much capital a firm requires to purchase fixed assets, modernize and expand the business, and meet the working capital requirement. On the basis of their forecast of the volume of business operations of a company, the finance executives have to estimate the amount of fixed capital and working capital required in a given period of time, say 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, and so on. On designing capital structure, capital structure relates to how much money or capital is supporting a business, financing its assets, and funding its operations. It can also show company acquisitions and capital expenditures that can influence the business bottom line. A company's financing decision or capital structure decision is concerned with the sources of funds from where long-term finance is raised and the proportion in which the total amount is raised using the sources of funds. It involves determining how the selected assets or project will be financed. So how do managers decide on capital structure? Assuming that a company has access to capital, like investors and lenders, they will want to minimize their cost of capital. This can be done using a weighted average cost of capital or WACC calculation. On choice of funds, having enough funding allows your company to grab any opportunities that come your way, just such as investing in new products and services that can help your business grow. Working capital can serve as a safety net when your business needs extra money. Well, that's true. Apart from using equity capital, a financial manager can choose other funding options like preferred shareholders, banks, and financial institutions, debentures, public deposits, and other third-party sources. One of the role of financial manager includes effective utilization of funds. He has to select an investment pattern which is related to the use of funds. The funds should be spent on fixed assets, and then an appropriate portion will be retained for working capital. On investments, every organization or company needs to invest money in order to raise more capital and gain regular returns. This means the financial manager needs to invest funds in safe and profitable ventures. Why is investment management important for individuals and businesses? Investment management helps people protect their hard-earned money from being eroded when due to extravagant uses. It also helps grow money over a certain period of time in order to meet people's financial needs. The act of investing has the goal of generating income and increasing value over time. An investment can refer to any mechanism used for generating future income. This includes the purchase of bonds, stocks, or real estate property, or time deposit in banks, among other examples. Investment management refers to the handling of financial assets and other investments, not only buying and selling them. Management includes devising a short or long-term strategy for acquiring and disposing of portfolio holdings. It can also include banking, budgeting, and tax services and duties as well. Profit allocation. Well, profit for any company is the primary goal, and with a company that does not initially have investors or financing, profit may be the corporation's only capital. So without sufficient capital or the financial resources used to sustain and run a company, business failure is imminent. So financial management ensures that all financial resources of the organizations are used and invested effectively and efficiently so that the organization is profitable, sustainable, and viable in the long run. So why is profit important for the organization's financial viability? Well, profitability is the primary goal of all business ventures. Without profitability, the business will not survive in the long run. So measuring current and past profitability and projecting future profitability is very important. Profitability is measured with income and expenses. Money management. Money management is the effective handling of money through planning, organizing, directing, and controlling funds in a corporation or for an individual. Financial management uses ratios, equities, and debts to reach investment goals. Money management refers to how you handle all of your finances, from budgeting to investing to saving and setting goals. So why is money important in financial management? Every organization or company needs to invest money in order to raise more capital and gain regular returns. So this means that the financial manager needs to invest funds in safe and profitable ventures. Forming a budget is an important financial habit to make sure that you are not losing, because you should always know how much money is coming and going out of your accounts each month. Without knowing this vital information, you may be spending more than you make, leading to a life of debt and poor credit. Financial controls. So financial controls refer to an organization developing policies and processes for managing its financial resources and operating efficiently. It helps a firm mitigate financial risks, comply with fiduciary duties, corporate governance, and due diligence requirements and meet financial objectives. The three most important financial controls are: number one, the balance sheet; number two, the income statement, sometimes called a profit and loss statement; and number three, the cash flow statement. Each gives the manager a different perspective on and insight into how well the business is operating towards its goals. Financial control ensures proper financial discipline in an organization. It also ensures optimal utilization of resources. These two lead to production of goods and services at a cheaper price, thereby increasing the earnings of the concern. This ensures the overall efficiency of all the staff increases. So, this is the end of my presentation. I hope you have learned from the topics I have discussed. So, once again, I am Arvin and have a good day.